All right, let's get started. So perfect. It's 12:30 on the dot. Thank you all for joining me today. And today's topic is best platforms for augmenting reality. So we're going to talk about the best ways to create augmented reality, the best ways to get it out there, the best ways to make money from it, all of that stuff. I just wanted to really start off the new year. Happy 2021. This is our first meetup of the new year. So I wanted to start off by just covering a lot of the basics and just answering those questions and just providing some new foundation for the meetup as well. So we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. Let's go ahead and hop into it. And so if you don't know, again, my name is Casey Pollock and my company's name is Near Future Marketing. And the name of this meetup is AR Today. So that's how those are related. Definitely, I'll talk about my company. But as far as the meetup, I started it 2 years ago and it's just a free meetup. We started in person. It's always been great. And now we've moved to remote, which allows us to reach everyone and also have recorded sessions. So it's really, really cool. Again, thank you for joining. If this is your first time, I'm glad you found it and you will learn a lot from here. So let's keep going. And so in one sentence, augmented reality is any form of digital content overlaid in the real world, usually with a live camera. And so you can see this video I made here with my iPad where I just have the AR Today logo in 3D. And you can see it's in the real world, or at least it looks like it on my iPad. And I put at the bottom, also known as a video game where the point of view is your phone's camera. So literally, it's a game engine that is mapped to the real world. And I'll let that play one more time because I know sometimes these animations don't stream the best. But yeah, really, really simple, really easy. Let's continue. And so the underlying technology that I always like to point out this slide is that strong computer vision with scene understanding is the underlying technology of AR. So machine learning and AR, they are like conjoined twins. One can't grow without the other really, or I should say AR can't grow without AI. And so that's what's happening here is you have a camera, AKA your phone, and as you walk around different scenes, this AI is able to detect all of these different pinpoints and just kind of map out an understanding of the scene. So maybe there's chairs, maybe there's tables, maybe there's a tree in the background. The computer can track those things and remember exactly where they are. And before, this was done with a technique that basically uses an AI that's on board on the computer to kind of figure things out and basically simulate a laser. But now we have some actual lasers in some of our devices now. So this has gotten a lot cooler. Let me just throw it out here. And so let's go to the next slide. And this is what I'm talking about is the new iPad or the new iPhone. We have this cool Lidar sensor built in now. And this Lidar sensor is a lot different than what we had before. And that's why it's such a huge deal. So Lidar is usually found within like self-driving cars. It's usually really, really expensive, like 50,000, 70,000 plus. And instead of just having one single laser, like something like Google Tango did, this Lidar sensor projects a map of dots. So you can see there in this GIF that there's all these different dots. And that basically allows us to track our environment with way higher accuracy than just using the camera. So the camera combined with the Lidar sensor is making some really, really cool things. I would say it's basically perfect AR because now things don't randomly mess up and glitch out. And so as I mentioned, Lidar comes originally from like the aviation industry or the self-driving car industry, but you can see a better understanding here of what's happening at scale. So we have this car, it has a sensor on the top that spins around, and from that, it's scanning everything in the environment at a pretty great resolution. Obviously, it's not the smallest details, but definitely for a city or a farm or a room, Lidar is the perfect technology. And of course, we also have smaller and faster energy efficient chips now. So each year we go forward. I always talked about this, but the chips are getting smaller and smaller. We're almost down to the molecule scale. So really, really exciting things that happened last year, really exciting things that are going to happen this year, and really exciting things that are planned for the future. And that's why I think 2021 really is going to be the year of the smart glasses. So a lot of things happen. Let's just go to the next slide here. But instead of focusing on rumors and focusing on what ifs and all these other things, I decided to just grab a few news articles from quite recently since CES just happened. But basically, Facebook is working on their AR glasses that they, as you can see, say are coming sooner than later. Vuzix has these great micro LED smart glasses. I think that's really cool. Micro LED is a technology I kind of figured out would be really key for some of the best AR glasses a while ago. So it's cool to see someone actually putting that in production now. Lenovo, they have this really cool one that basically can hook up to your computer, or you have the free roaming industrial model, but it's really cool as well because it hooks up to Windows. And then we have Nreal, which came out a few years ago, but you can see they're still raising money. So outside of the big players, we still have smaller companies that are also releasing these more streamlined glasses this year. And again, that comes back to those smaller, more energy efficient chips. This just literally wasn't possible 2 years ago because the chips were just a little bit bigger. But now in 2020 and 2021, the chips are finally getting small enough where a computer that can sit on your face and not be too hot and not be too bulky, it finally is coming to fruition. So great time to get into AR right now. And so this brings us back to my favorite chart here, which is just to show the spectrum of augmented reality capable devices. So starting from the bottom, as we go up, everything will have everything below it. So if we start from the bottom, we have that Pepper Ghost effect, and that's that like Tupac hologram that you saw at Coachella. Maybe you haven't seen it, go check it out. But basically, this is what allows different performers to appear on stage after they've passed away. It's basically they use a 3D model of that performer, and they have a projector, and it reflects off of like a plexiglass in front of the crowd. And for the crowd, it looks like that person is really on stage. So it's the most basic form of AR. It was invented like 200 years ago, but that definitely counts. From there, we have our older phones. So this is anything you could say like 2009, maybe 2009 and later, which is just basically something that could do QR code tracking, something that could do 3 degrees of freedom. So that rotation that you're seeing there with that picture beside the yellow, that is just that basic 3 degrees of freedom. We don't have the ability to fully move around that model. We can just move it around. In our flagship phones, this would be any of your most current up-to-date phones. So think your iPhone 12s, your Android Pixels, and your Samsungs. All of these things usually have these things built in now at this point. So we have energy efficient machine learning. We have 6 degrees of freedom tracking. So that's the ability to move around the object and move forward and backwards around it. So to actually be able to walk through that lamp in that iPad, that's what 6 degrees of freedom is. We have advanced graphics. So again, the graphics are a lot better than you would get on a phone from 2009. And then we have object recognition thanks to that machine learning. So we have the ability to recognize when we enter the same room or if we are pointing at a particular object. Above that, we have the best possible augmented reality capable device here. So that's our smart glasses. So this is something that ideally, this is in my opinion, what the best pair would have, because obviously you've seen that there are already a few different types of smart glasses, but eye tracking. Eye tracking is very, very key. Right now, I believe only the HoloLens 2 has eye tracking. I could be wrong, but as far as the mainstream device, only the HoloLens 2 has eye tracking at the moment. And again, this is just something that's really, really cool and really only possible with smart glasses because it's you're constantly looking around, you're constantly looking at different things. So the ability to track where you're looking adds a lot of context, and it just adds a lot more things for the programmers to play with. Voice recognition, again, these are glasses that you're wearing on your face. So the ability to just speak to a digital assistant is definitely handy and definitely, I would say, a requirement of smart glasses. Hand recognition is another really, really big key. Again, we're moving through our world. We're not looking at our cell phones anymore. We have the freedom to look anywhere we want. And now that we have that freedom, you should also have the ability to use your hand and just interact with the digital objects that you're seeing, because again, this is a video game in real life. So those top 3, I would say, are like my things for the top pair of AR glasses. But just below that, of course, you need a near eye display to have this experience. I think something that I've always said is that it needs to be fashionable. So you can, there again are lots of different things out there, but the only one that will catch on mainstream for consumers and sell millions of units, I think it would need to be fashionable. And of course, it needs to be untethered. So as I mentioned, there are some types of smart glasses that you can connect to your computer and just basically look at your computer's operating system on a window that floats in the air. But I think an untethered experience, especially if it has its own operating system, I think overall that is the ultimate pair of smart glasses. So hope this chart helps you understand that. And all of this will be available. It's actually already on the website, but you can download a PDF of this slide if you wanted to keep some of these things that you're learning about. So again, this is about the best platforms for AR. So let's just hop right in and talk about the big three. So on the left, we have the Microsoft Store, and this is where you would find any HoloLens apps. And they also have like mixed reality apps as well. So mixed reality experiences, as they call them, that is where you would find that in the Microsoft Store. In the Google Play Store, this is where, of course, you would find any Android experiences or apps. So again, let's focus on apps here because that's what I'm talking about. So any Android apps would be in that Android App Store. And of course, last but not least, we have the App Store from Apple, which is where any iPhone or iPad apps will be located. So the advantages of these big three platforms is the ability to deliver multiplayer experiences that can last an hour or longer. That's a mouthful, but it really is something that is worth pointing out because AR is fun, but at the moment, a lot of people still feel like it's a gimmick because a lot of these experiences only last for 15 seconds to 30 seconds to maybe 2 minutes, and that's not necessarily the fault of the developers. I have to say, it just really is hard to make this stuff. You're making a reality. You're bringing computers into the real world. So it's, if you want to be able to make something that multiple people can experience at the same time, and they can experience this for an hour or the rest of their life, you're going to need to target one of these three major platforms, I would say. Another good advantage of these platforms would be the ability to collect funds directly from the customers. So some other tools that we'll talk about, they're great, but they're mostly for just free content that you can release to a community. But with these platforms, you specifically have the ability to charge the customers upfront and say, hey, I spent a year building this. I would like you to at least pay me $1. Or hey, this is free, but there's some cool stuff that you can buy inside the app. You can only do that on these platforms. And then allowing apps to be discovered on non-compatible devices. So this is a big one because, again, there are some pretty high requirements to actually run AR apps, I would say. But the advantage of these three big platforms is that if you're on your desktop computer, if you're on an incompatible iPhone or an incompatible iPad, there is still that ability to possibly at least see that experience in the App Store and realize that, hey, I need to get a better phone, or hey, I need to just go grab my iPhone or my iPad and download this. And you can't do that with some of these other experiences like Snapchat or Instagram. These are more so locked into their own community or other communities where you kind of repost it. So the big three, it's pretty obvious: Microsoft, Google, Apple, but I would say these are your best bet if you want to actually collect funds from people. If you want to make money doing augmented reality, I think this is the most straightforward way. And again, you would be able to deliver an experience that can last the longest amount of time. So that's the big three. Next, I just wanted to talk about the best free tools. Because again, not all of these go towards something that will make you money, but definitely you could figure out how to make money from the skills that you build around these tools. So Xcode, of course, is Apple's program for making apps. So this is how you would make any app for any Apple device, whether that's the Apple TV or the Apple Watch or your iPhone. Xcode is the go-to. It does require a MacBook to use it, but again, because it's all made by Apple, it just works and it's a pretty streamlined experience. Then we have Blender, which is a free 3D modeling program. Again, just it's been around for 10 plus years. Blender is a really great program, and you can really do a lot with it. Many big time movies have actually used Blender during their production. So don't doubt Blender at all. Just use it because it's great. There's tons of tutorials, there's tons of YouTube videos, and it's free. So get it. Spark AR by Facebook. So this is what you would use if you want to launch anything to Instagram or Facebook. Spark AR is going to be the tool. It actually has become really, really powerful. I started using it when it was in beta, and since then it has really blossomed into a very, very powerful experience. Personally, I believe it is the best tool for social media because, I mean, Facebook, love them or hate them, they are a really big behemoth and they have billions of users. So if you're talking about distribution, if you're talking about marketing, then I think your best bet is to be posting these things on Facebook and Instagram. And then we have Lens Studio as well. And this is actually another great one for marketing and social media. And that's why it's listed here. You know, I could have listed a million other different things, but I only want to point people in the best directions and the things that I feel like are going to last the longest. And that's really all that made it into this slideshow. So Lens Studio is a great tool. You can check it out online, but again, it's very, very powerful. It's evolved over the years, and I would say it's an equal competitor to Spark AR. And then last but not least, we have Unity. Unity is a game engine that is also free-ish. So it's free to use, but then there are some licensing things, and I'm not too familiar with all of the Unity licensing and stuff, but I do know you can download it and use it right now for free and get started. The advantage of Unity is that if you develop something in Unity, one, it's available on Windows or Mac, so there's that. But two, you can actually distribute to all platforms. So if you were to make, let's say, a Android app, you could make that on Unity and you could, you know, on your Windows or your Mac. But more specifically, I think what I'm trying to say is if you made an AR app, you could use Unity to send that to both the iPhone version and the Android version, and maybe even a HoloLens version. The Unity is a very powerful tool. It's, again, lots of tutorials, lots of support, growing company. I think their stock recently IPO'd, and yeah, they're doing great. So I would trust Unity with your future, basically. One thing I will say about iOS development on Unity is that it's not one-to-one to Xcode. So again, Xcode is that one in the top left that's made by Apple, and you will always get the best, most streamlined experience with the least amount of bugs if you just use the tools that they provide, because they're constantly updating these things. You know, AR is literally some of the most advanced technology out there for consumers. So you have to keep up. And I would say if you're going to make iPhone experiences, then you should probably use Xcode. And even still, if you do use Unity to develop an iPhone experience, you will still have to compile that app, which basically means put it together in Xcode. So no matter what, if you try to do iOS development, you cannot avoid Xcode. And then bouncing off of Unity, they have another tool that just has always seemed really, really interesting to me. I believe it launched last year, and it looks like you have to pay for it now. So I just wanted to bring it up because it definitely looked like another powerful experience. So this one is called Unity Mars, and it's specifically for making AR. So Unity is the game engine that's for making any game, whether that's PC or Mac or iPhone or Android. Unity Mars is the game engine that they've built for making augmented reality experiences specifically. So it's really great because you have things like the simulated living room where you can test out your experiences before you test them out in your real living room. You can collect that data and use that to kind of build around. So there's just so many cool, great, useful things that you can do with Unity Mars. I'm not a user of it, but based on what I've seen and learned about it, I would recommend it. So there's that one as well. And then Creative Cloud. So I have 10 plus years of graphic design experience. So for me, you know, I lean on these tools heavily. I've leaned on these tools for 10 years. These are paid tools for Adobe. So this is the Adobe Creative Cloud, but I would highly, highly recommend it because it makes it a lot easier. If you can get a student discount, definitely use that student discount, even if you just have a friend who's a student, because it's a lot cheaper and these tools are definitely worth it. I can't really recommend any free replacements because I don't know of any, because I've been using these tools for 10 years. So I just wanted to point out that like Photoshop, you're going to need something like Photoshop when you're making augmented reality, because you have things like texture maps. Again, you are building a video game. So you have texture maps and all these different images that you may randomly have to adjust. We also have Illustrator here. So Illustrator is for making icons and for making app icons, vector icons, just art, basically, that's not a photograph. Illustrator is great for that. And then at the bottom in the middle is Adobe Xd. And Adobe Xd is a great tool for prototyping apps. So whether or not that's an augmented reality app, it doesn't matter. You can use your creativity, but Adobe Xd would literally allow you to build out the user interface, so the visual aspects of your app, all the way through a functional mockup. So you create something where, oh, if I push this button that says submit, it goes to the next page and has a fake screen that looks like I just submitted that data. So Adobe Xd is really, really great for prototyping. And again, I highly recommend it. It's something I've used in the past, and it just really makes things easy to do if you don't have a lot of experience with UI design, especially. And then, so yeah, next I'm just going to walk you through my website. I'm going to walk you through the back end of some of these platforms so that you can see how I personally have to like upload and manage these things. And then I would just show you some really cool examples. But I just wanted to leave this off. So this is the end of the slide. I just wanted to leave this off by saying, again, this is a free meetup. We really appreciate you for joining. We do accept donations now. So if you check out Augmented Reality today on my website, that's nearfuture.marketing, you can actually donate to the meetup. We really do appreciate it because, again, this is all free, comes out of my pocket, and none of it is free for me to host. So, I do appreciate you for joining. But that's the end of the slide. So let's exit that. Let's actually just close it. And again, I posted the slides. I posted a PDF of these slides on the website. So let me show you how to find that. So again, the name of my company is Near Future Marketing. So if you go to nearfuture.marketing, you'll land on my website. Once you get here, go ahead and tap Augmented Reality Today, and that will bring you to this page here, which is where everything related to our meetup will show up. So I try to make this easy. It's like, here's the meetup, and everything else is about my business. So again, join our meetup. If you found this from LinkedIn or Eventbrite, definitely join the actual meetup because that's where I post all the pictures and updates and new events first. So join the meetup. Again, accepting donations, so I really appreciate that. And then here's today's event. So again, I update all of this as we create new events. But from here, you can join the event. This is where you can get the free assets. So if we click here, this will open you up to the free assets folder. So all of our meetups that we've had recently, I've created these folders and I'm just leaving all the free assets there. So if you missed something, you can always go back and download everything for free. But for today's, we have best platforms for AR. And I added the PDF of the slides. I didn't add any freebies today, so I will get to that by the end of this meetup, but at least you have the slides. So there's that. Next, and also don't feel free to type in any questions in our chat box. I will check that in a second. I just had to get through that slide first, but definitely if you have any questions, if you just go ahead and type whatever you want to say in the chat and I will try to cover that as soon as I can. One more thing I wanted to talk about, so before I click into here, but the swag shop. I've been working really hard on the swag shop lately. There may actually, just go ahead and check it out. There's a lot of cool swag here. Let's go ahead and click through really quick. So you can see we have the AR Today packable jacket. I actually have this one in gray, really nice. The sweatshirt, I have that one as well. The hat, I have it. The phone cases I don't have, but I like them, so I should probably order one. But definitely come check this out because I just redesigned the entire swag shop. I deleted everything and created it all again from scratch because I wanted to create some really cool quality content. So please do check that out. I've been working really hard on the swag shop. And again, this is a free meetup, so that's another way that you could support the meetup and wear some cool swag. Let's go back And our last event, it will always be found right here. So I have the recording for this event. I'm going to upload that today. But if you click all recordings here, this is where you can see all of our other videos. So let me pause that. And you'll see on the right side here, I don't like how they designed this, but this is the actual playlist. So if you click in, or if you click any of these other videos, you can watch our past meetups. You can sit here and learn exactly how to make AR for iOS in 1 hour and 45 minutes if you have the time. And again, it's on YouTube, so pause it, come back whenever. But you can find everything right there. And then whenever we finish this meetup, the link will be posted right here. So that's how this works. And then our photo gallery in our past meetups. So if you wanted to see some of our past photo galleries from our in-person meetups, like this one in LA, go ahead and check out our photo gallery. I would appreciate it. Next, let's actually do this form super quick. So this is our 2-question survey. I'm going to post this link in our chat right now. And it's only 2 questions because I'm not trying to stress you guys out, but I just want to make, I want to make this content. This is our first meetup of the year. So I want to make the content going forward targeted to the people who are watching. So if you can fill out this 2-question survey, I would really, really appreciate it. Again, let me post that link in the chat here. And I think it's Q&A here. So let's make an announcement. Boom. There's our survey link. And I would really, really, really appreciate it if you took some time now or later, or if you're watching this on YouTube, when you watch it, to do that survey, because again, I'm looking at these answers so that I can create better content and just understand what you want to see. So please take a look at that survey because it's the first time I've ever done any survey, and it's only 2 questions, so it's not that bad. This is App Store Connect. I think we'll come back to this, but I wanted to walk you through what it looks like to manage, upload, and talk to Apple or Facebook about the AR experiences that you're working on and releasing and selling to customers. So we'll come back there. Let's start, I believe, right here. So before we start here, let's read this article and then we can come back to this. So that Lidar sensor that we mentioned earlier, that is really, really a big deal. I can't tell you how much I nerded out when I heard that was coming, because as someone who's been studying the game, I already knew what Lidar was before it was in the iPhone. So when I found out it was in the iPhone, I was like, whoa, that's a huge deal, because that's a $70,000 sensor. But basically, this app there's tons of apps like this now, but this particular app, they just have some numbers here that I could refer to. You can see that it's capturing 9 million densely accurate points in a space with a single scan, or roughly 2,000 square feet. So you could scan your whole home, your whole apartment, wherever, with your phone. Again, it's not going to be ultra high quality, but it is pretty good quality from my experience with my iPad. So definitely, I would say keep looking into this, because this is very, very key. And so here I wanted to show you an example of what that point cloud that you get back from that Lidar sensor looks like. So this is what you're getting. So again, it's not going to be ultra high quality, but you can see again, you have millions and millions and millions of points. I believe this was scanned inside of an arcade. And so you can see here we have all these different arcade machines. You can see we have the floor. You can see we have machines, but this type of map, this is way more detailed than we had a year ago. This is way more detailed than ever. And especially if you've ever done photogrammetry, where you take a camera, you take a million different pictures and map these pictures into a 3D model. All of that is out of the window now with the consumer LiDAR now. You don't need to do many of the past techniques that we did. Like photogrammetry, I would say, is almost dead now with LiDAR. So it's a huge game changer. And especially since you're using a mobile device that you can carry around in your pocket, it's a huge game changer to have these things. So to have a point cloud this dense and to have it in color, I just can't tell you that this was just not what was going on before. Before we just had simple planes. We just had rectangles that were representing the world. So huge game changer. And that's what it looks like on your phone. So I can close this tab now, and I can close this tab now. And that leaves us with, again, I'll leave that survey there for now. So yeah, let's hop over. I think I talked about the main stuff. I won't make today's meetup too long. And actually, yeah, we're on an hour, so let's wrap it up here. Oh no, we're only 30 minutes in, sorry. And so let's go ahead and just walk you through. So this is App Store Connect. I've already logged in because I don't want you to see my email, but this is App Store Connect. So this is where you would submit any apps to Apple. And so you can see right here, I can manage my apps, I can manage my analytics, sales and trends, payments, agreements, users, all that stuff. Let's take a look at my apps because I think this is just really cool if you've never seen how this kind of looks on the back end and how much work goes in. I really want to show you, like, yeah, it is a lot of work, but if you commit to it, you really can do it because, again, I taught myself. I didn't, go to school for AR or computer science. But I've learned a lot over the years. I started on the Apple Watch and now I've progressed to augmented reality. So here's my backend. I have a lot of different apps. Some of these like HoloGarden are not out yet. But yeah, let me just kind of walk you through what it looks like when I submit updates and stuff. So let's start here with this 1001 butterflies because the last build got rejected. So I tried to submit an update. So here's version 1.3, the version that got rejected. And here's version 1.2. So this is the version that's currently in the App Store. But you can see here, so what's new in this version, this is where you add everything that's new. You can see I've been working really hard, so I added a lot of new features. This is the part that drives me nuts. So I'm going to give you some tips right now, if you can afford it, or if you have the skills to do this, to save some time here. So what you have here is you have your screenshots. You don't think about this because you probably only have one iPhone, but for everyone in the App Store, they all have different phones. And Apple's requirement is that you upload screenshots of your app on the main sizes of phones. So you can do the iPhone 6.5 display. That's the 12 Pro. So that basically means if you have the largest iPhone out, you take a screenshot on that picture, you take a picture on that phone, and it will automatically size down to the remaining iPhones that have Face ID. So the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 mini, you won't have to take screenshots for those if you get the biggest iPhone. It sucks because it's also the most expensive iPhone. And I personally don't even really like a phone that big. So what I've always done, this is, again, I'm giving you a pro tip here, is you take your screenshot on whatever device you use, let's say an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 7, something smaller, ideally an iPhone 11 though, and you would basically Photoshop that to the correct dimensions. So there's dimensions that are required for each one of these screenshots, and you can just Google that. So let's say like iPhone 12 dimensions, and let's maybe do screenshot just to be sure. And you'll get the answer right here from Apple. Usually you can find it, but here we have this right here, 252, 32, 1170 pixels. So when you go to create that document in Photoshop, you just create a new document in Photoshop with these dimensions, you paste in your screenshot, and then you scale it up. It might be a tiny bit blurrier, but honestly, it's never stopped me from submitting an update because I don't have all these phones and I don't want to take the time to take the exact same picture on the iPhone 6.5, the iPhone 5.5 in the same parking lot. Like, again, with augmented reality, the downside is you ideally don't want to take all of your screenshots in your room. So I would highly recommend, getting out to your local parks, the beach, wherever, the mall, wherever you just are outside of your house probably. Go ahead and take your screenshots there. But obviously, again, that turns into a lot of work. And you can have up to 10 screenshots in 3 app previews, which are videos. And then same thing for the iPad. I take my screenshots on my iPad and then I Photoshop them to the other sizes or whatever we need. But again, if you target the largest sizes, you won't have to do the smaller sizes. You won't have to do every single iPhone. So that's great because it wasn't always that way. Promotional text, this is the text that you're using to kind of like sell it really quick in the App Store, like what's one sentence you could use to sell this app. Keywords, this is how people discover it in the App Store. So we have things like butterfly. I put a butterfly emoji. I like to experiment with these types of things. AR, hedges, flowers, bushes, outdoors, pets, pet. You get the idea. We're also required to have a support URL, marketing URL, and then of course your actual app description. From there, you would upload builds. So as you work on different versions, you upload them here. and that you can then kind of automatically select the latest version that you've uploaded, and it will automatically load in your App Store icon and everything else. And then you can also work on things like your copyright, which it's a new year, so let's update that. And then we can save that here. Perfect. What else can I cover really quickly here? Again, most of these buttons won't matter for you if you don't plan on doing this, but I just wanted to point out some of these things you don't think about, like having to Photoshop screenshots, because it's kind of brutal, but it's worth it. So this one got rejected because of the Apple's App Store rules. They have a lot of rules, so this one was just something small because I targeted this app specifically to children. This was my first app that I targeted to kids. And because of that, the rules are a little bit stricter. So that's why the update got blocked. And I just have been a little busy because I have a lot of different things. So I haven't updated that yet, but I will. And then you guys will get 1.3. So let's go back here and let's take a look. Just one more thing I can show you here. I just really wanted to give you an overview of that. So yeah, one more thing I can show you is on the left side here. The rest of the things we have, so you have app information. This is where you pick like the category and stuff. Pricing. So again, the big three are where you can actually decide a price, whether that's free or I believe for Apple it's up to $999. So it's up to you, but you know, again, you have to sell this. Somebody has to buy it. So you know, ideally make it free and then figure out a way to make money from that. But app privacy, this is new. This is a really big thing right now. Luckily for me, I've never been into using APIs or tracking people and storing their data. I just like to make cool products that work because again, I just taught myself, so I'm just putting stuff together. But you can see this app, particularly this Magic Fish AR, it was really easy for me to submit this because the only thing I'm tracking is crash data. So I collect anonymous crash data if the app ever crashes. That way I can figure out what went wrong, because if this app crashes, it means that most of my other apps could probably crash from the same thing since they're built on the same system. But other than that, I don't collect any other data linked to you or your information or your identity. I just make AR apps that work. But if you wanted to, you could. Of course, Facebook just got a lot of flack for that. They had a really long page here that had a billion different things. But that's another thing. Ratings and reviews, this is where you can actually respond to ratings now. So this is cool. You know, I got good ratings on this app, so that's good. But yeah, you can respond to reply. You can reply to things as well. Version history, of course, is what it sounds like. You can see all the past versions here. So you can see version 1.0. I did that in 2018, and here we are in 2021, and I'm still going. So that's good. But yeah, that's it for Apple side. It really is that it's not that simple. If you go and watch my other videos on how to make AR apps for iOS, you'll get a better understanding. But I just wanted to show you the back end and just kind of get your brain thinking about all the things that you'll have to manage if you do release an augmented reality app. The other thing I wanted to show you, but I don't think I will, but I can at least kind of cover it a little bit. Or maybe we can. I'd have to log into Facebook, and that's not something I really do on this computer, but let's see. Spark AR Hub. So if we go here and manage effects, yeah, that's this button. Okay, perfect, so I don't have to go through Facebook. This is where you can see your effects and manage them. So before I cover this really quick, let's check if there are any questions. Looks like there's no questions, perfecto, and we'll just hop back over. So Spark AR, same thing, but again, you can't make any money here, so you can't set any prices, and that's why I don't spend a lot of time in Spark AR, because again, you can do a lot more on iOS. But it doesn't matter. You can see here, I have some effects, and this goes by account, so I think this is on, I'm not sure which account this is reflecting. I think it's just my business account, which I only have one active filter on. But basically, you upload your effects. So once you finish using Spark AR here, which is not showing up here, here it is, Spark AR. Once you finish using Spark AR Studio and you upload your filter, again, I have a video on how to create these Instagram effects. It's already on YouTube, so go check that out. But once you upload that effect, this is where you would manage that. And I think I did cover that in that session. So really, I just wanted to again, show you, like, you have your effects, you have insights, you have your audience, which changes. But again, Facebook is, they have a lot of data on everything. So if you want to get an understanding of what's happening and who's interested in the things that you're creating, I think Facebook and Instagram are a great way to really get an understanding of what's happening with your experiences. And also just to get them in people's hands, because it's already in Instagram. So if you create an experience for Instagram and they have Instagram already, they don't have to download your app. They just have to locate your filter. With this one, I'm not doing a great job here of demonstrating this, but so let's click into this one, the High Cardboard Soldier. You can see this is on Instagram right now. It's been opened 106 times. It's been saved once, captured. So I think that's when people actually take a picture with it. Yeah. And so you can see it's not the most popular filter. I didn't create it for that reason. I just created it to post something to my business account. But people are using it and we get insights on that. So from there, you can see it's on Instagram, platform owner. I don't think I really have too much else to really say here. Yeah, details would be it. So with your Instagram filter, you publish it from whichever account you want. You could choose Facebook or Instagram. So, if you create a filter, you can send it to Facebook or Instagram. I would say do Instagram. I believe it's way more popular for filters. You set a name. I think it's limited. I think this literally was the limit, the character limit for the name. And then categories. Usually it's going to be world AR. If it's something like this where it's just on a desk or it's just out in the world, they're kind of very, very picky about the category that you pick. So world AR for anything that's not on your face. Same thing as Apple, we have keywords here. So you can see I have some random keywords that I think people should find this filter if they decide to search toilet paper or, arts and crafts for whatever reason. Hopefully they'll find my filter. And then you have an icon, which you just upload. And then you also have screenshots, which I guess they don't show you here, but you have to upload a screenshot. And I believe a short video of you or someone using the filter. Oh yeah, here it is, demo video. That way, Facebook knows exactly what you're trying to put on their platform. So these are the requirements. But once you do these things, you are good to go and you can really, really, really pick up some traction. Obviously, I'm not too popular on this particular filter. Here we go. I can switch accounts right here. So if we go to effects now, you'll see, oh, and look at that. Some things I need to update, but you can see this one here got 32,000 impressions and 12,000 opens and 2,000 captures. So this was obviously a lot more popular. And again, I have all of those insights so I could find out who's really interested in pirate hats, like who's taking 2,000 pictures, wearing a pirate hat. So this is all really, really cool, all really easy to do. And again, if you want to learn how to do it, just go to my website, nearfuture.marketing, go down to the bottom here and click all recordings, and you can see some of our past meetups where I taught you exactly how to do that. But with that, I think we can actually just go ahead and wrap it up for today, because again, today's not instructional. It's just more so a lecture about what's the best direction. Our next meetup will be in a week or two. I will announce it by the end of today. And for sure, this recording will be posted in the next 24 hours on YouTube as well. So again, last thing, I really would appreciate some feedback from the community, because I literally just set these things up and just do whatever I want to do. But again, if you have, I'll just post it one more time, even though it's there. If you can go ahead and make a entry into this form here, I would really, really, really appreciate it, because I need some feedback on how am I doing and how can I do better, because I really want to make this meetup a lot better this year. So go ahead and fill out that survey. Again, we appreciate donations, but again, thank you all for joining. I will give you a couple more, like 2 more minutes to ask any questions before we wrap up here. But again, thank you all for joining. I really do appreciate everyone that joined today's meetup. Dope. So yeah, go ahead and ask your questions. Unfortunately, I can't share audio from this device, so I can't play any outro music, but if you ask your questions, it will make it a little less awkward before we wrap it up here. So go ahead and do that. We really do appreciate you. And if we don't have any questions, then I think we can go ahead and wrap it up here. So I will give you a second. And I think we can wrap it up. I don't think anyone has any questions. I think it's pretty informational, but again, really appreciate you guys for joining. Go ahead and check out my website, and we will see you soon. Take care.